I'm glad you could actually join this live video. So first of all, I would like to wish the celebrants in the month of June a happy birthday, and I hope you had a great celebration. Okay, so this is the 5th edition of the Voice of a Queen, and today we will be talking about divergence. Now, before I talk about divergence, defining it and explaining it and describing what it has to do with us, basically I want to share a biological term with us, and the term is convergent evolution, right? What is evolution? It is actually the process of gradually accumulating change. So when we talk about evolution, we actually mean that something was in a particular shape or form, and then eventually it gradually changes. It picks things, it picks attitudes, it picks traits, it picks intelligence. It just keeps gathering things and accumulating things, and then it changes. So that what it becomes is either totally different from what it was before, or a little bit different from what it is at the particular time it gathers the change. So why are we talking about convergent evolution? When we say convergent evolution, it actually means species of different forms and kinds living in a similar environment get to a point where they pick up similar traits, and then they start looking alike. Note, they were specific species, different, but they landed in the same environment, and then they picked up the same traits and started looking alike. So how does that affect us? The thing is, eventually we as human beings, we have tended to get into the point where we do convergent evolution. So you're in an environment, you have different people in the environment, you have different things happening, and people are responding to the things based on what they see, based on who they are. Now, you begin to pick their traits. You begin to pick what they do. You begin to pick what they look like. You begin to pick how they walk. You start mimicking their hairstyle. You totally forget about your previous unique identity because of where you are at the moment, because of the people surrounding you right at the moment. That is convergent evolution. And it's a problem because we were created to be divergent before converging. So every person, every individual in the planet was created unique and special. One typical proof is the fingerprint. My fingerprints are totally different from yours. When I put my fingerprint in a database, it does not mix up with yours. When they try to find my information based on my fingerprints, it brings up my information. It does not mistakenly bring up the information of another person. That is just the fingerprint. Now, God designed every individual to be unique. Like your insides, the fingerprint is just one reflection that says you were designed to be unique. That is just one. Now your insights, your attitudes, your attributes, your actions, your reactions, the things you like, the things you don't like, the things you admire, the things you don't admire, the things you're passionate about, the things you want to do, the things you do not want to do, the things people cannot convince you to do, how you are wired, right? How you respond and react to things. They are independent, totally independent of how the next person was designed to like, unlike, to admire, unadmire, right? Every individual was designed to be divergent. You were designed to be specifically unique in your own way, to be so different that a typical example I would like to use is the rainbow, for instance. When we look at the rainbow, we see one entity, we see just one thing, right? We call it the rainbow because it is one entity with several colors. We do not call it a multicolored thing. We see one item, but identify the fact that that one item has several colors. That's exactly what God designed the world to look like. That's exactly what the world was designed to be. Different people being able to converge in their divergence to form one beautiful entity. But what we see today is people actually conforming to other people. Now, you pick up traits in other people. There is nothing wrong in admiring someone and admiring how the person looks, admiring what the person does, how the person acts, or how the person talks. But there is something wrong when you become a photocopy of that person, so that you totally abandon your original divergent personality, right? And become exactly what that person is. So when we look at our system today, it has found a way to tell people how to live. So fashion comes up with a particular trend and everybody puts on that trend. Everybody looks the same, right? And people come up with an idea and say, we should talk like this. Everybody starts talking like that and everybody looks the same. But think about it. Every person's voice is unique. That is why you can be in that room and I'm in this room and I'm talking and you can know that it's Ruth that is talking, right? That is exactly why I can act in a particular way and I'm not where you are, but you are watching a movie and you see someone act like that and you see Ruth acts like that, right? So we were designed to be divergent. The truth is, when we look at the human nature and you look at two people in the same place, like I've earlier explained, when they stay together for a bit, 1 or 2, 3 or 4 people, they start acting alike. But if you look at animals, put a dog, a cat, and a horse, right, in a particular place, raise them up together, feed them together, and bring them up together. They eat together from the same plate and live together. The truth is, the cat will never try to start barking or neighing like the horse. The cat will never try to start walking like the dog or running like the horse. It will still take its time to walk like a cat, to meow like a cat. The dog will still act like the dog. When it's time for them to eat together, they will come together and eat together. But when it's time to be individual animals, they will still reflect their unique identities. But when you look at people, they totally change, right? When 2, 3 people live together, they start acting exactly the same. Which brings us to divergence, to the importance of divergence. And what is divergence? Divergence is the degree to which 2 or more things diverge. The percentage, the volume of difference between 2 or more things. Why do we need to maintain our difference? We need to maintain our difference because of originality. When we were designed different and deliberately structured to be different from each other, we were designed with some form of originality. Now, when there is a part of you that we need, right? The original you that we need. But if you trade that to become like me, we end up having two me's. And if we needed two of me, we would already have two of me. God would make two of me, but he makes one of me and one of you, right? So when I had this conversation with someone and they said, what if two people in the same team agree on a particular subject? How do you bring in divergence? The truth is, if I say something and you respond by saying, oh, I was thinking about that. If I go further to explain what I was thinking about, the truth is my approach to that thought will be totally different from your approach to that thought. If I was thinking we should go straight and you were also thinking we should go straight, maybe I was thinking we should go straight by car. You were thinking we should go straight by taking a left turn and then coming right back because you had your own reasons and I have my own reason. That's the beauty of divergence and originality. And then another reason why we should look more at divergence is the power of creativity. When we are different and we choose to bring our difference to play wherever we find ourselves, we create something new. Take, for instance, two pens, right? This is two different pens, and I chose to bring two very different because of the subject. This and this are parallel, they're straight. Let's assume they're going in one direction, right? And if this one decides to go this way, something new is formed. Something totally different is created, right? You can look at it as a graph. You can look at it as an angle. So when we are divergent and we choose to maximize our difference, we can be creative. So I can look at something from another direction and then you can look at it from another direction, and by the time we converge and bring our differences together, we can actually create something, right? So personally, I do not like monotony. And one of the things that help us to deal with monotony is the ability to maintain your uniqueness, your identity, and your personality. That helps you be creative wherever you find yourself. And I cannot emphasize this enough. If you're divergent, it becomes real. You become like one of the realest people have around. They will tell you that person speaks his or her mind. When this person gives you advice or suggestion, it's real. It's because the person has identified and is working with their divergent personality. The person is not exactly trying to be the next person. So, what are some of the things that some of the arguments that come into play when we talk about divergence? So people mention mentorship. How do you handle divergence, being different, and bringing your difference to play and then the role of mentors? Most people say that mentorship is about finding someone who has already gone the road you want to go, right? I do not totally agree with that. I would rather see mentorship as your easy roadmap. So if you decide to choose someone as a mentor and the person has gone their road and the person has succeeded, how do you engage the mentorship of that person? You look at the road the person has gone, right? What were the decisions the person made? What decisions could the person have made that would have turned out better? The person does not necessarily have to be in the same field as you. The person does not necessarily have to have done what you have done. Success is success. Hard work in the course of success is hard work in the course of success. So what did the person do wrong? If the person had taken a right turn, would the person have gotten another result that would have made the end result even better? That's how I see mentorship. So this is about maintaining your lane versus mentorship. Everyone has a lane. Everyone has a role to play. There are those who partake as members of the crowd, and there are those who are like the star character, right? So find your role and do it very well. Do it like wonderfully well. There are people who win awards for supporting roles, who win awards for being the main character, and there are people who suddenly become the main characters because they played the crowd roles extremely well. So, what do you want to do? What are the things that make you different, that make you divergent? What is the main thing that makes you you, right? That is your essence, that is the important thing, that is the beautiful thing that comes to play when you are in the midst of people, when you're in a place, right? So find a mentor who has gone the road. It doesn't necessarily have to be the road you want to go. What if the road you want to go is a road nobody else has gone? Think about it like this. Before the invention of cars, right, people were using animals. A lot of people were probably thinking about getting animals that could run faster, right? And then people thought about cars. It had never existed. They would not have had mentors. Maybe the only mentors they could have gotten at that time were successful horse breeders, horse and camel breeders, right? So find a mentor who has succeeded in what they want to do. Then understand the road they took to the success. We talk about cars, talk about airplanes, talk about Facebook, Airbnb. These people just woke up one day and thought about this idea, and then they put it to practice, put it to use, and today everyone is benefiting, they're benefiting as well. So what is the thing that makes you unique? What do you want to do? What do you want to design? What do you want to come up with? What do you want to put to use? What makes you different that you can actually impact the world with? So that is your role. Find it, and then find a mentor and study the roadmap. Build your roadmap by looking at the mentor's roadmap, the mentor's design, the mentor's work. What has this person done? What has this person achieved? What did the person do? How did the person go about it? Right? It will help you build your prototype. It will help you build your concept. When people ask me how I started my NGO, all I did really, the major work was in building the concept note. The minute the concept note was built from start to finish, like from beginning, as soon as the concept note was in place, it was easy to implement. So what do you want to do? Build the concept, build a prototype, develop it and build it, actually see it. Once you can see it, you can implement it. And then check with your mentors. So who is the person you decided to be your mentor? You decided to work with as a mentor. If it's someone you can reach, check with them. If it's not someone you can reach, follow them on social media, on the news, and learn from time to time. So basically, the message here, the point here is divergence. It is okay to be different. It is okay to be comfortable in your own skin, in your role. It is okay to be okay with how you are. You know, there are those people who, when you have a crowd of people and everyone is going in the same way, and then suddenly one person appears that is not going in the same direction as everybody, and everybody tends to pick out on that person. Oh, he's here again. Oh, she's here again, and he or she has come with their own thoughts. It is okay to be different. Everybody needs to learn to shed the traits they have picked up from the environment, from people they've been around with. They need to learn to drop all of those evolution that they have, those total evolving they have evolved, which is outside of what they should be. and actually groom their personality, groom their identity, and groom their unique difference to be able to merge. So whenever you think about divergence, think about the rainbow. Think about the multicoloredness of the rainbow. And think about the fact that as different as each color is, it's still one entity. We all admire the rainbow when we see it. So there is beauty in our ability to be different and then be able to work together as the different people or persons that we are in a group. So that is it, and I thank you so much for coming online and for watching. If you have questions or you have areas where you need clarifications, you can just comment on the comment section and I will answer at some point. Also, if your birthday is in the month of July, you can comment. I will give a shout out in the month of July and pick one person at random and send a gift. I hope you have a great weekend and an amazing new month, and do pray for Nigeria.